Welcome back. Episode 32 of The Associates. We've got a very special guest here today. The man himself, the guy the sportsbook shekel counters hate to see coming. JayV, Justin Varvaro, one of my best friends, Nick's best friends, right? I would say,
Absolutely.
Yeah, pleasure to have you on, man. It's long overdue.
Definitely ecstatic to be here. Now it's pretty cool though, because I remember watching these guys. You guys ripped these pods before I knew either of you. So
Yeah, I didn't know that, honestly. I didn't know you were aware of
We started what, 2022?
22, you guys.
summer.
What were you doing in 22?
I was just starting to be on my 10K a month, 15K a month, breaking out, thinking I'm on my way up. And I knew Lobo, so I would talk to him all the time. But I would watch the podcast when I was just doing my thing up north, and I was like, we're gonna be friends one day.
It's so funny.
We're definitely gonna get along.
We were talking about that yesterday. Of 4 years later, sometimes we get people that say, "Man, I started an ecom brand because I watched the pod. I was in college and I just dropped out. I started doing these things, and obviously we're friends now, and it's sick. It's kind of another cool example. Did we say what episode this is, by the way?
32.
32?
Yeah, we
32.
said that. I definitely said that.
I don't know if you said it in the.
No, I said
32.
I'm not
Okay,
slacking.
okay. We messed up the
Good
intro first time.
episodes.
Where do you want to start?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, I think it's definitely full circle because, him and I met here in this building.
In this building.
I had no idea who you were really. Maybe I'd heard Lobo talk about you. And then Jake was like, yo, Justin's pulling up. I met him. He's super cool dude. You'll like him. And at that point in my life, I was very introverted, right?
Yeah,
I didn't want to meet a lot of
Were
people.
you?
Oh, yeah. I was just in the apartment. I would go to the beach. I wasn't really trying to hang out with nobody at that point in Miami. And
He was
Jake brought
swagging out on his
Justin,
own.
and I was like, oh, shit, Justin's pretty dope. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm making $60,000 a month off 1,200 followers. I was like, what the fuck? And then you just ended up being dope. So, yeah, I'm excited to dig in and chat here. Where do we start?
I think we should start with him telling anyone watching what he does. Because there's ways we could describe it, but I'd like him to describe it. And we can start
glitch.
there.
That's how I describe it.
Logan describes it as the infinite shekel glitch.
It really is, though.
Yeah.
I should tell us what that is.
That's what a lot of people have been saying lately. But so I'm a professional sports bettor. I'm a professional handicapper. And what I do is find value in the sports market and take advantage. Same way somebody who day trade stocks for a living would do the same. I use indicators, math, and probability to find an edge in a sports game, whether that's a side, a total, whatever kind of prop bet it may be. And I use a percentage of my entire capital, take calculated risks, and profit long term. I started betting sports full time in 2022, and 2025 was actually I just finished my most profitable year of my professional sports betting career. We've talked about this a couple months ago when it was coming to an end, and it was pretty insane. It was pretty great, and so that's 4 straight years of winning publicly when I started posting about it, documenting it, and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So do you what? Okay, so 2025 most profitable year. I think most people probably aren't that deep in betting.
Yeah.
So I think it would be probably, if you don't mind sharing, what does that look like?
Absolutely, yeah.
And what is a unit too? Because obviously you're probably relating that to units.
Yeah. So it was 2025 was my best year as a professional sports bettor in terms of units made, right? So we profited 153.88 units last year. So a unit is just a percentage of your bankroll. If you trade stocks, crypto, if you're a poker player, you understand that every risk you take you're not just saying, I'll risk half of everything I have. I'll risk a third of everything I have. You're taking calculated risks with a certain percentage of all of the capital you have, of your bankroll. So
What percent is a unit?
I recommend most pros use 1%. Some pros that have really big bankroll and they're really conservative, they use 0.5%. Most pros are 1 to 2%. I recommend 1 to 3% to my clients, depending on their risk tolerance. Some people are very risk adverse, and they don't mind risking 3% of the bankroll using 3% of the bankroll as one unit. So I recommend anywhere from 1 to 2.5 is what I would really say.
I've been ripping like 5%, but I'm not throwing that much money. So it's like,
I was looking at you over
like
there laughing when you
he's
said
putting like
one.
fucking 10, 15 G's on a slip. I'm
Uh-huh.
putting like 25. So like, you know.
25
He's
G's?
caught some
25 G's or
He's got some
$25?
big wins.
$25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
like
big
I just feel like threw like a few $100 in there.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
see what happens.
So I actually want to bring up an interesting point. I made a video maybe like 2 weeks ago where I was talking about like why are these guys, crypto, gambling, this and that, blah, 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 whatever. And Logan, you tagged Justin and said, nah, man, gambling, sports picks, blah, 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 that's totally fine. It's like we got a system. And obviously there's a system.
When you
I
rock
wouldn't,
with JV, it's good.
right, but like I wouldn't include his stuff in that list because he has it's done as a professional. It's not some kid pulling up the sports betting app and I'm gonna just parlay,
Yeah.
random pick. I think this team will win today. There's a system behind it, and so he obviously commented. I was like, no, I wouldn't include our boy in that because it's not true. There's a reality here where he has a winning ability and a winning strategy. It's not some random guessing and shit, which is what I was saying. Like, don't guess.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Justin would probably agree with this. Like, the way gambling is presented now is fucking awful.
and that's what I wanted to get into. Is like
And very, like, would you agree with that? Like,
the difference between gambling and actual betting as a professional.
I saw your post before he commented, and I liked it. And I went to the comments. I typed a comment, deleted it, typed another one, deleted it. I'm like, I'm just not going to comment on this because your message was like 100% correct. I 100% agreed with the post, and I was going to comment something just to be funny. There was no need. You were right. And then Logan did it for me anyway. But yeah, I think that you're absolutely right. And I think most people are better off not gambling, not trying to hit a 100x or 100,000x long shot on a crypto coin, not trying to go from broke to rich betting sports, not trying to go from broke to rich,
not
going to the
trying
casino.
crank the 8-leg parlays.
Yeah. Yo, okay, so what happened on the national championship game in college football when he's like, yo, man, I'm cooking up this crazy parlay.
It was a 3-legger.
Oh, okay, you're right. It wasn't a crazy.
It was reasonable, but
okay.
So
and
like
I went
the semifinals, right? I put like $25 in and won like $150 on the Indiana game against Oregon. Like pretty Chad bet. I took them like over 40.5 team total and minus like 9.5 or some shit. They won like by 35, right? And so then I was like, oh, bet. Like I'm gonna ride with Indiana national championship.
Yeah, it was the championship game, Miami against Indiana.
And I threw in a pick and sent it to Justin. And
we were on FaceTime. He's like, I got this parlay tonight, man. He was like, I got this parlay national championship.
Justin's fucking dick ass did the opposite of my bet.
Flipped every single pick in mine hit.
Like he just took the inverse.
Did you
his
do that
one.
like based on your system?
No,
No.
I did.
Just
That's funny that he asked me that after I sent it to him. He's like, did you actually like have systems on the opposite of everything I picked? And I was like, no, I was just messing around with you.
And he won.
How much you win?
Oh, bro, I put $100 on it.
Oh
Yeah.
I just did it just to be an asshole.
So
funny.
So break down what a system looks like for a sports bettor.
Okay.
Because I can conceptualize what a stock trader's system looks like, or a crypto trader, or like how you would make like a long-term investment, or the risk return, that sort of thing. I'm curious how it works for when you're making picks.
Yes. And when you hear people talk about sports betting, it's very obvious to me when somebody doesn't actually know what they're talking about. When I listen to them speak about sports betting, when I listen to them articulate how they go about handicapping the games, finding an edge, coming up with their unit size, whatever it is. I know the way that majority of pros do it. And when I hear these people on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or whatever talk about why they're betting what they are, It's laughable, but that's like I'm not trying to go out of my way and call people out or just I don't need it. I'm just focusing on my stuff. I'm focusing on scaling my units, and like I said last time, bro, like once I make like 50 million off of sports, I'm out. I'm done selling picks. I'm done dealing with people that want to buy plays. I'm out. Me and the homies could make money off of sports betting. That's it, and then we're chilling. Then we're doing real estate. Then we're doing other stuff. But essentially, most of 99% of my sports picks, or pretty much all of my sports picks, are based off of systems I have on the game. So now a system is a series of factors that, when all checked off, equate to a percentage, a 50, 60, whatever, a certain percentage winning outcome that dates back 25 years. So let's say college football. I have a lot of college football systems. I have a lot of NFL systems.
Okay.
So a college football system for me would be in the month of November. Only applicable in the month of November, when a road team is favored by 14.5 points or more, and the wind is 15 to 30 miles an hour, and the temperature is below 58, 55, whatever degrees. Mm-hmm. The total for the game goes under 62.8% of the time. And so I have tons of systems that are like that, right? Like, so I have systems for NFL that only apply to weeks 2, 3, and 4 in the NFL, and they're for overs. And if you're a client of mine, you've known we make a lot of money. I make a lot of money betting unders in college football and the NFL. But during weeks 2, 3, and 4 of the NFL season, I make a lot of money betting overs. And there's a reason for that. And so I have systems that are pretty much based off of, especially in football, almost anything you could think of. Teams doing good, teams that are good now and that missed the playoffs last year, teams that made the playoffs last year. And there's also a lot of systems around public perception. Psychology is a huge part of sports betting. Sometimes when the Vegas odds makers make the lines for the games, right, when the lines come out, DraftKings, when you go on DraftKings and you see their lines, the people that DraftKings hire to run the book, they're not coming up with those lines. There's about 3 or 4 true odds makers in Vegas. They come out with the lines. They post their lines. FanDuel, DraftKings, all these other sports books copy their lines, and they'll move their lines
based on where the money's being spent, right?
Either the action they receive, or if those main 3 or 4 books move their lines because sharp money's coming in, or money they respect is coming in on one side or a total, and they move their lines because of that, then these other retail books might do the same.
Interesting. So just, I guess, like, on the systems thing, before we move into, like, sharps, and then, because obviously it's not just, like, finding your edge, but it's also, like, finding the value, right?
Yes.
But I would just be curious on the systems, like, how, because you've shown me before, like when we were in Lauderdale, I'm pretty sure, but I don't really remember.
Yeah.
Mainly because I wasn't like invested in it, right? I didn't have enough experience.
You were like, oh, this dude bet sports.
Yeah, like I didn't know. I have never really gambled at that point. But like, how many systems do you have, and what manifestation does that take? Like, are you looking at like a cracked Google sheet with like the past 50 years of NBA data and NFL data and college football data, or like what does that look like, and how many are there?
That's a great question. So,
and before you answer, it sounds like something you could put into an AI and like program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when I first understood what is a professional sports betting system, when I first learned really how pros gain an edge, it was 2022, and I had a notebook. And I would put all my systems in a notebook. And every single day, I would thumb through this notebook and spend hours seeing which systems apply today. Then I found out that there's a software that houses all the systems that you go in, and every single day you log in, it brings up the systems that, okay, this system is a green light for this game today, this one for this one, this one. I have hundreds of systems, not thousands, but hundreds of systems. That is between NHL hockey, college football, college basketball, NFL, NBA, and MLB.
And that's like over-unders totals, right? Not
that's
like
for sides, sides, totals.
Because they don't have that data for like props, I would imagine.
There are a lot of apps and stuff that do, but I do not have professional sports betting systems with the indicators that I'm comfortable with putting my hard-earned money on for props.
Makes sense, too, because like all the sports have changed a lot.
that 5-6 years ago, it was really tough to find info, or maybe a little more than 5. Like when I was betting in high school,
Yeah.
it was they had a basketball game. They had a guy's points, his assists, his rebounds, and his points, rebounds, assists. That was pretty much like the 4 main
But even
props
that,
you
bro,
could bet
like
on.
20 years ago, like a basketball game was like 82 to 90, and now it's like
Oh yeah,
145 to 138.
yeah, yeah. I
Because-
remember betting totals when I was in college. I remember walking out of baseball practice, and I remember betting the Spurs under 188.5, 189.5. Like I remember, yeah, NBA games used to be. That was back when the NBA
Well,
was.
so is
How did-
football too.
How did you figure it out? How did you learn it?
How did I learn it? I started betting sports when I was 14.
Well, I mean, like the system side of things. Where did that discovery come in for you?
Oh,
That sounds like the unlock.
Yes, that what the systems and really understanding how to determine my unit size all was absolutely the unlock. And in 2020, it was a kind of like an ongoing thing. Have you seen that video where Alex Hormozy was like, "I paid $100,000 to talk to Grant Cardone for 30 minutes or whatever"?
Yeah, of course.
So at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, I've made a fair amount of connects through when you start sports betting at 14. I'm going to New York City. I'm in the back of barbershops. I'm in the basement of bodegas. I'm all over.
At 14?
Yeah, I'm 14,
That's
15,
crazy.
16. I'm betting online. So, like, I'm meeting a lot of people and then doing it through college. And I was managed to guy knows guy. Actually, one of my baseball coaches had a friend that knew the owner of Bovada. You know the online site Bovada?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that guy, I mean,
That's like
you run
what,
a
like,
book, you're loaded.
I feel like, dude, like when they made the like LeBron movie back in the day, and LeBron's like on the plane playing poker on Bovada.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, poker on Bovada used to be really big. But so I was able to get in touch with a couple guys that were legitimate pros.
Okay.
One guy in Vegas, one guy in Canada. And I paid every single dollar I had to my name. I had some money in stocks and I had some money in my bank account and I had some cash. And all of that went to about 7 30-minute phone calls where they were gracious enough to really help me out and say, like, you don't know what you're trying to do this. And I was this is my craft. I want this to be my craft. I've been doing this since I was 14. And I've had some really good runs of luck. But I know that there's obviously something I'm missing because I know it. You're not just going to get rich betting sports.
Off
Right?
luck.
Yeah, I'm smart enough to know it's just not going to happen. So no matter how good I've done, I know there's an element that I'm missing. And so please tell me, what am I missing? And so actually nice enough to kind of lead me down this road of, okay, this is how we go about handicapping games. This is the formula you use to determine how much expected value you have. You're going to multiply that by this, divide it by this, and this is going to determine your unit size. This is going to determine how much capital you risk per bet. This is going to determine how much you're going to risk if your edge is this much, if your edge is this much. You only do teasers in this sport for this price. Anything higher, you're getting robbed. We don't do parlays like this. We don't do this and that. And so 2022 was when I went through about a 6-week period of really being a student, a real student for one of the first times in my life, because obviously school I never cared about. I felt like I was a student of the game in baseball for a while when I was in high school and college when I was really into it. But that 2022 was when it all clicked through that.
I mean, is that something that's like, okay, obviously, like you paid these guys, probably a handsome sum of money to learn and shit, but is that something that, like, is that gate kept almost? Like,
Yeah.
Like the software that you use and the way you go and like get the data in the systems, like, is that like a gentleman's club kind of thing where you have to be like let into it, or like anybody can go find that? Or?
I think it is. I think if anybody really wants to seek it out, they could eventually get to the doorstep of it.
But it's
People
like
have asked
hidden.
me to drop a master class for years now, and you would have to pay me millions of dollars for the information I have.
Because that's your edge.
I've given out 1 or 2 systems for free in my Telegram channel that if you scroll back and use word search, you could find the college football systems I've given out for free. And I think I gave out an NBA system for free. Like, I would not give those out for free. It would be a lot of money. I'm probably not going to drop a master class.
It makes sense though on the gatekeeping because these guys, that's how they make money.
Yeah.
Right? So then if everyone has the system, doesn't exist anymore.
And the more sharp players, I mean, 99 people say like 98, 99% of people lose. I think it's like a 99 point something percent of people.
Which
And that money's
bet
going to the
sports
winners.
In the book.
A lot
Yes.
of it's going to the book,
Yeah.
but the books are going to use some of that to pay the winners. Yeah.
Which the sharp, that sharp is
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how they identify. I saw a thread on this where they have like this insane algorithm they'll figure out in like 15 bets made on your account whether or not you're a sharp. And if you are, they like start limiting you and
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Yeah.
You've been banned
I've been
from-
very fortunate. I'm constantly cycling through fresh accounts, but the accounts I got at the start of this football season have been really good for me. I've been able to get down to big action because I'm intentional. And now some of my loyal clients that are really they would be friends if we hung out.
Yeah.
I'm helping them in this aspect too to not get limited. You have to mix in bets and you have to look like a square. So once in a while on an account that's maybe this account's up 20, 25, 30K this week so far, whatever, I'll go in and throw in a $500 parlay that I know is going to lose. Or I'll go and bet not a lot of money. I really don't like doing it, but it's something you have to do. I'll go and bet like the opposite side of a game, or I'll bet into a bad line on purpose on some of these accounts. And it's important that you do that early on in betting the accounts, not just
So you can
running up,
calculate
running up.
losers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, like
Yeah, you
their
just
algorithms
get
will
cooked.
find you and they'll like give you shittier odds, right?
They're not
They'll
going to
limit your-
change
limit what
the
you
odds
can
for an
place.
account, but they'll limit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember in 24 when we left Lauderdale, I had just gotten some new accounts for offshore books, and I came back down here. We were in Lauderdale in February. I came back down here in March and stayed in Airbnb on the beach for a month. And by the end of my time at this Airbnb on the beach, I was already locked out of 2 accounts. They had lowered my max bet limit to $5.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man. And so then, right, so once you get the systems, you're like, okay, I'm going to bet on this game. Then it's like, from there, there's the value component. Because obviously there's a lot of games that, you have like a statistical edge, but it's not worth it. Right?
Well, so that's the thing.
Right? Like explain the
If
value.
I think I have an edge, that's taking into consideration my expected win rate on the game, my expected ROI on the game, and the odds at the game that the line is at. So I could bet a minus 200, where if I have an expected win rate of 71%, there's value for us on that game because I'm expecting that game to
Okay.
win enough to cover the losses of laying 2-1 when we lose.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the value is baked into whether or not the value the odds are baked into
To the value,
the edge.
yes,
Got it.
exactly. And then there are a lot of times where then there's closing line value, right? So where, yesterday, this is a perfect example because it lost. I bet the Carolina Hurricanes minus 160 on the money line yesterday. So not only did I have a high enough ROI and a high enough expected win rate for that minus 160 to make sense, but that line closed for that game at minus 190, minus 195. So not only did I have value to begin with in the bet, but we beat the closing line by 30, 35 points, which is huge.
Yeah.
Massive. If you're beating, and
That's
that's
like 15% swing, right?
we're beating the closing lines in 65 to 75% of our bets in the last 4 or 5 months. And if you do that, you're almost it's really hard not to make money if you're beating the closing lines. And so we had halfway through the game, we have a 3-0 lead. The live money line for the Hurricanes is minus 5,000. And they blew a 3-0 lead, went to overtime and lost. So like a square would look at that and say, "Oh, dude, we lost. You suck. This was a bad pick," right? Well, why was it a bad pick? We beat the closing lines by 30, 35 points. Our expected value and our expected ROI was plenty to cover the minus 160. And we had a 3-0 lead where in the middle of the game, if you wanted to make $100 on our same pick, you would have to risk $5,000 to make $100 halfway through the game.
Bro,
They
it's
blew it.
tapped in right now.
They blew
Are
it.
you tracking all this?
A little bit. I don't bet sports.
Okay, so to
but
like,
I understand.
to
I
give it
understand
like
where
a
he's
simple
at.
analogy, I guess it's like, and for anyone watching, because he is like, you're pretty tapped in right now. I love it.
He does this in his content too, where he's like units, da 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 da.
That's
And I'm
what-
like, dude, the average
That's what
guy
I've
is gonna
been
be
telling
like,
him is like,
I don't
dude,
want to help the average guy.
yeah, but that's who has all the money.
I know.
They keep losing it.
But yeah, I guess to put it into like a simple analogy, it'd almost be like if you're, day trading. I don't know. You're day trading like SPY, right?
Yeah.
And like the tech stocks in that, or a certain category of stocks in there is like massively appreciating while you're day trading it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's kind of like would you say it's a good analogy?
Yes.
No,
like-
I am understanding. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and for
get it.
everybody watching
Of
too,
course,
that
of course.
maybe is not balls deep in sports betting.
Let's go back to that point in terms of the content though, because I keep telling him.
I've been
'Cause
telling him the
there's like-
same thing.
There's like a part of him that wants to flex but doesn't want to flex. But if you did flex and then you like kind of like dumb down, like instead of units, it's like, all right, guys. So every game there's 100 units, and I bet one of them. That's how I keep my bankroll and I don't go broke. They'd be like, oh shit, like that makes sense. And then it's like, that's how I bought this Lambo. And then it's just sports picks, buy.
I don't necessarily think it has to go that like.
Deep or
No,
dumb?
no, bro.
that-
People are stupid. Trust me.
I
You
think
have
it
dumb
has to go
down.
that deep.
But I don't want to deal with stupid people anyway. I
Well,
love turning stupid people away.
I'll give you another point. I don't know what a unit is until we talk about what a unit is, and I would say
You're a
I'm a
finance guy.
I'm a pretty smart person. But in the context of sports betting, I'm new to it. You know, I don't know it. You say unit. I don't understand. But if you sat me down and said, all right, so look, every game, you got 100% of your bankroll, and you break it into 100 units. It's 1% each. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Like I'm following, you know.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna bet one of those each game, so we don't lose our entire bankroll. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's smart. I don't think it's even stupid people. I think it's just unaware people.
I agree with that. I don't know if that because like fundamentally, I think the type of people that are gonna go and like buy picks are probably already loosely into that, or
Sure.
they're already spending money on sports books
Yeah.
and just losing. It's like very normie betting. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, I know. I see so many people.
I
like,
just think of, like-
I know football really well. Like, I truly
Okay.
understand what's happening. Right? Like, I can watch a defense. I know what's going on.
Yep.
Like, they're rolling people down. They're in a quarter shell, whatever. But you see people that are like, oh, dude, he's so good. Like, but they have no idea what's actually fucking happening. They're like, oh, I know what's gonna happen.
I just think of that like
but
retired or like graduated frat bro that's
Oh,
sitting on the couch on
Frat bros love betting
Sunday
sports.
like
and he's just betting on the app. He's got the DraftKings pulled up. He's
getting
betting his
pissed-
finance
getting
money.
pissed off because he put
And he's
like
super
20% of his
Yeah.
fucking
Losing parlays by one leg.
bi-weekly check just evaporated. But I don't think it has to get like that like dumbed down. But I've been telling him for 2 years, like, dude, if you just made every video like the people have no idea who you are, what you've done, or like
Yeah.
what's really going on, that's the unlock. Because
Yeah.
right now it's just too.
Yeah. And both of you guys have helped me out a ton with my, obviously, especially
Yeah.
in the last year with Nick, a ton with my content,
You've been
my
working
social
with
media.
LS?
Nick's
Yeah.
been helping me out a
Oh,
lot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
That.
So
Dope.
been trying to dumb him down a little bit.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's really like it's tough for me because like
I'm the same way.
I don't like to.
We've
I'm
all,
not a marketer, right? And the thing is with this industry, it sucks. The sports betting industry sucks. 99% of people that claim to be sports bettors suck.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
they're all just cornball marketers. They're clowns for attention. It sucks. And tough to say I'm super proud to be a part of that industry, but I'm super proud to be an actual winning sports bettor, which I know I am.
So
But I
funny
th- I
because we
think
all
it's-
have the same conversation all the
yeah,
time.
I think everybody that's competent feels that way about making content now. Like, it's moved so much more towards just like brain rot, attention grabbing
I hate
shit.
it. I hate
We're
it.
talking about this on the pod we filmed yesterday. Like, just there's so much you're competing against all of that versus like 3-4 years ago. It was like people were talking about real shit,
Yeah.
like real strategy. They're actually doing stuff, and now it's just like,
Yep.
if you scroll IG, it's like IG broad, fucking like hilarious, like based video, like memes.
Yeah.
People just doing dumb shit. That's
Even the
funny.
value videos are just so like washed out of value. It's just so basic.
I used to be able, in 2023, I used to be able to talk on camera and give valuable information about sports betting with my 2,000 followers and get 1,500, 2,500, 3,500 views. People would listen to what I had to say. It's a minute or 2 minute long video. Now, if your video is longer than 15 seconds, like you have to be showing You have to be showing ass, you have to be showing flashy, materialistic things, or you have to be saying things that are going to keep people's attention, because everyone has an attention span of a squirrel nowadays, and it's pathetic and it sucks.
Yeah. No, I think most, but like, it's not just sports betting, though. I know because I've seen, after I've been betting now, which I've been throwing your picks in for what, like, I don't know, 6 weeks or something like that. I've seen the content creators in gambling, and it's like every video. No, this is how every video starts, right? It's like, it's either, this is the easiest game you could make $1,000 on today, or I have the script.
Yeah, the
And the
NFL
NFL
script is ridiculous.
championship weekend script is here. Let's get into it. And they all, like, Noah and I were talking about this. They all have the same, like, profile picture. It's just awful. But people who do fitness stuff, people who are marketers, people that, all these other, like,
Every niche
verticals,
has their own,
they all feel that way for the people that actually do it.
I think part of it is taking what's working, the elements that are working from those videos, which is like, this guy's making it feel special, and he's making it feel like he's exposing this thing that's been gatekept, and it's this new information that you're gonna get, and it's gonna unlock this whole new world for you every video. And they do it in a really gay way.
Yes.
But if you can take that essence of, I'm going to unlock this thing for you that's going to change your entire life, and you do that every video, but you do it in a real way, I think that's like the content.
Yes, and I'm definitely trying to do that more often, but I say this on my story all the time. If you really want your life to change, you have to be disciplined, and you have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined over a long period of time, which all these other sports bettors that make these videos, they're selling it to you that tonight's going to change your life. And I just have a hard time saying that because I know it's not true.
Yeah.
Which is super fair. I think another piece
We can make a lot of money in a day. I've had clients dude, I have a client who's an MMA fighter. He's trying to make his way to UFC right now. He came to me in September, $6,000 to his name. And now he has days with me that he's making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in a day. People ask him at the gym, bro, what are you doing for money? Like, you were in, like, broken down car in September.
That's a hell of a life,
what are you doing
bro.
for now? He's like, yo, it feels so bald to say I
just-
gamble on sports.
You just fight and throw slips in all day?
Yeah.
It's pretty
That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I think another thing with that, though, like, I almost think you could hedge that as almost like an angle, right? Where it's like, because if to use like a fitness analogy where it's like maybe a little bit simpler, there's that same thing, right? You have these people that are like, oh, this is the shiny new secret that's going to actually allow you to lose the weight. And then you have the people that are like, no, dude, like, you need to be in a calorie deficit, build muscle, sleep, and do that for a year, right, to see results. And it's almost like they hedge against that angle as theirs. I think a big part of it is just like the context window, where if it was that and it was like you're selling the fundamentals, it's like every video, assuming that the person watching it doesn't realize the opportunity, doesn't realize what's wrong with how they bet now, and like the video, they could come into that video not knowing your track record and what you do, but the video still makes sense to them. Whereas I feel like a lot of it, you almost like have to know you.
They feel like it doesn't even apply to them because I'm in some different stratosphere of.
There's just not enough context for them to understand that.
I think the biggest word flip is don't dumb it down.
It's awareness.
And this is not just talking for your brand. This is like anybody making content.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not dumbing down. It's lowering the awareness level to people that are completely unaware.
Make it broader.
Because they just don't even know.
Somebody could have no clue what you do, no clue who you are, no clue what you've done, and they can still watch the video and get it perfectly. The same as somebody who knows all those things.
Something I've been doing recently had one of the biggest videos in a while. Just, oh, you're completely unaware about this thing. And it was funny because there was an ad, but literally exactly what you just said.
Yeah, because most people are. Really, like by percentage of population, most people are. With anything, relatively unaware as to what's going on. It's kind of a sad thing, the way that...
Well, especially, we were talking about this obviously yesterday in the last pod, but just like with short form. I think it's actually like we say, cooking people's brains. but I actually think it is like zapping the neurons and the dopamine receptors and just how it fires the synapses and everything. They're getting cooked. They're getting
100%.
fried completely.
Well, I just think about like the quote where it's like a man should be able to tie a tie,
Yeah.
steer a ship, do all these things. Specialization is for insects. I don't remember who said that, but you know the quote I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
To me, it's like that where now life, like as we've specialized in society, life has gotten so much more streamlined, and you can just do like your thing. Let's say you drive a forklift, or you have your what's like to drive a truck, CDL, yeah, CDL, or you have something like that, right? And cool, that pays for your family, gets you food on the table. Everything else is automated. You go to the grocery store, automated. You go to all of it. You have all your smart appliances. You have all this, and so people in general are getting way dumber just because they don't have to know stuff. And then
Not even they don't have to know stuff. They don't have to figure stuff out.
Yeah. And so they just outsource it, and like there's no real original thought happening.
1,000,000%. Bro, that's funny. I've been thinking about that a lot the past few months of how dialed into just one thing you can be to make money in this day and age and be completely clueless in every other aspect of life. Not know how to put a desk together.
It's kind of
not know how to cook food, not know how to do anything other than what pays your bills and have everything else automated. And it's scary because it's not like it's going to reverse anytime soon.
And I think the interesting thing, the reason the three of us are friends and we have the friend group and the people that we know and consider those people friends are because we don't just specialize. We can kind of have conversations about any of these things.
Absolutely.
And it's a good conversation that we're all on the same page about. And whether it's dating, whether it's what you eat, whether it's workout, whether it's politics and all that sort of stuff, whether it's money, we can have an intelligent conversation about all that stuff. Like a guy that doesn't know how to do like basic like screws in a light bulb or like put up these wood panels or something. I'm like, how'd you get here?
I was literally about to say.
And we've talked about this. I feel like you and I have definitely talked about this a lot. I don't know if we have. Maybe we have. I don't know. But where it's like our friends like that we're close with, like us three and like our really close friends, it is the people that there's not like some major missing piece there. If you hang out with a dude that's like, like he's a jack dude, whatever. Not that like that's a super important quality, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's the type of person you are.
He's super fit.
Yeah, like you give a shit. You're about it. And then like he's going and he's like really interesting, has a bunch of hobbies, but then like just perennially like not working to like push that side. It's like, why? Like it's hard to even fathom. And you almost like of course you can be friends with these people, but it's hard to have them be like really deep kind of like friendship.
There's a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And then it creates this like almost divide where we don't get each other fully.
Yeah. It's like the way I think about it is not, there is that disconnect. And it could be totally different things, right?
I think the biggest one is women.
I feel like
I just genuinely like
it is.
Like that's the biggest. You could be friends with a guy, you make a lot of money, he makes a lot of money, but he just is like really creepy around
rigid.
women.
Yeah.
or
It's
just
just
a,
what-
or
really
just a simp.
A rigid
Yeah.
wife guy.
It's not
Yeah.
even the disconnect. I think it's standards. I think as a man, I have a certain set of standards for myself that I hold myself to in all these aspects of life, right? I have to have a base level of strength. I have to have a base level of not being overweight and obese. I have a base level of where all of our friends make a certain amount of money, have a baseline level of strength, have a baseline level of interest for exciting, adrenaline, risk-taking things. We're not scared. All of us could cook a meal. All of us could drive a car 150 miles an hour. All of us could put these boards up behind us. All of us aren't afraid to take risks. All of us have the right frame when it comes to females in their life. All of us have everything that is important as a man, like baseline stuff that so many dudes are missing, or so many dudes think it's okay. If you make a lot of money, you could let your girl walk around with you on a fucking leash like some bitch. Or that if you're super jacked, it's okay to be poor.
None of us are bringing speakers to the beach.
No, and we're not littering on the beach either.
Well, that's a different topic in my opinion. The genetic littering quotient. Anyway, One thing that
You love that one.
None of us are afraid to throw down if we had to.
yeah, it's just I think it creates like it's just like a weird like distance almost, where you're just like it's not fully there. I don't really feel as comfortable being.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even think. I think that's like a nice, soft way to put it.
It is.
I'd say
yeah.
like, we're not. You're not gonna be my friend.
I think it's more of to a degree, it's a survivability aspect biologically. Like, I don't really trust this guy.
Yeah.
You know? I don't really trust this guy, and he's
Yeah.
around me. I'm gonna limit my time with him.
Yeah.
You know?
He doesn't have like. Everyone who doesn't like being around other people that have. If you have super high standards for yourself, don't you want to be around other men that have high standards for themselves in some of the same categories, if not all of them?
Yeah. It feels like a liability almost, kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One thing that I would love to touch on, because I think like, both of you two are easily like some of the most consistent people I know that I'm friends with. And it shows itself in different ways. Like there's a spectrum, right? Like I've got a little bit more love for like for Nick and I, right? When we were partners, like I like just like some random chaos, some spontaneity. He's like routine. I feel like you're like a midpoint, but a big part of what you do, not only with like managing your bankroll, right, is like the unemotional, we took an L yesterday. Some dude missed fucking 15 free throws and we lost when we should have won. Doesn't matter. I'm going to bet the same way I would the next day, no matter what. But also too, it's just like every morning you wake up, like gym, stimmies, systems, get the slips out, send them to, the people that you're sending, your clients. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to hear your take on that process, how you've seen it evolve through not only your gambling, but, the business you run with the picks. Just your thoughts on that. Like,
Yeah, that's funny because the first time I ever pulled up, with the first day we met in your apartment here, there was a huge whiteboard, and on all the way on the left, it said work, and all the way on the right, it said fun, and underneath work, it said Nick's name, and underneath fun, it said Jake's name, and then there was a middle point that said Logan. And it's like, because we were mutuals on Twitter for mad long, so I just laughed at that when I walked in because I was like, yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. But through the 4 years of me being a full-time professional sports bettor, the routine for my work has been like damn near the same. And it's obviously worked. And my routine for work, sometimes if I'm traveling, there's always, you got to be able to move with it and be different when you have to change things up or whatever.
You got to leave some room for some benders when you go to the casino.
Or whatever it is, yeah. But yeah, I think being consistently in a routine and doing things, especially things that are difficult or things I found doing things that are physically difficult, physically challenging, or doing things that I don't want to do. Like, I was never a morning person, and it's hard for me sometimes to wait. If I go to bed at 1 or 2 a.m., it's hard for me to wake up at 5, 6, 7 a.m. and go to the gym and then come back and have a full day of work and do whatever. But I just notice when I'm in a routine, constantly doing those things, when I don't feel like it, everything else lines up and everything else tends to work out better. Things tend to go your way the more locked in you are doing the things you know you have to do. And you get the results you want.
Yeah, it's crazy how much it really can, like, I don't know. I mean, you see it, obviously it happens in ourselves constantly to some degree, right? Like there's constantly that, it's like oscillation between like wanting to do more, right? And so it's like, well, where am I not doing that? But you really can. If you don't like something, it very simply is just like, are you allocating time to the thing that does that or not? Mm-hmm. And just very objective. That's always, for me, been just super helpful of like, oh, I don't like this outcome I'm running into. Okay, where can I allocate like 2 hours a day to fixing it for the next 6 months? And that probably does it.
Yeah.
And I know you feel the same way. Obviously, we've had like the whiteboard sprints, and you've been talking about it, like just getting really dialed
Yeah,
in.
I think part of it too is I have really high expectations for myself, and I know the things that I want, and it's not really a discipline thing. It's more of like an obsession thing, which I think is
great.
Which I think is a completely different energy behind it. Of like, I have to be disciplined to do this. We were talking about in the last podcast. That's a lot more forcing energy, whereas I feel like obsession is just it's pulling you in. The goal is pulling you in. Like it's more powerful in the sense of I'm just gonna do it because I have to do it because I want that thing. I'm gonna get that thing, and I also feel like on the fun spectrum versus work spectrum, I haven't been maybe in the place that I want to be to my standard, to my goal for a while, I guess I could say. And so I'll just shut everything off and I'll just be like, I just need to do this. You know, I just want to be in a place where I need to do this.
It's fair.
And then when I'm there, let's plan something.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I'm with that. I'm really glad when we were first living in Miami together. I'm really glad I was like a bit crazy just because it's like different, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that at 29 is way different.
Yeah, when we were 22 doing it,
doing it at 22.
And I was having a lot of fun then. If you recall.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, right? But you were definitely active out there with us. You were getting after it. But it's a lot different though to do that at 22 versus 29.
Plus, when you're first making money, bro, when you first start making real money, it's so much more enjoyable because you're feeling that acceleration in your life so much more.
Yeah, you think you're the shit,
dude. Like partying and going out and traveling and like drinking and doing crazy stuff was so much more fun when making $50,000 or $60,000 in a month was still new to me. Now it's like, I feel like for it to be fun.
Feel broke.
Yes, right? I feel like I shouldn't be doing that. I should be up, like, I need to make more money.
Yeah.
But it's like ebbs and flows with everything. And there's times like, I feel like he's been like more locked in and obsessed than ever before. I feel like towards the end of the second half of 2025, I get texts from him at like midnight, 1 a.m.
Yeah.
He's replying to a text. I'm like, what are you doing up? And
Just
then he's up before me the next morning. He's like at his desk at like 6 a.m., 6:30, 7 a.m. I'm like, damn. Roger grinding. I gotta step up.
I feel the obsession bit 100%, but for me that actually doesn't lend itself, that doesn't overlap with discipline necessarily. My obsession can fucking derail me, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
What do you mean?
Okay,
like derail you in what way?
I think I know what you mean.
Let's say we're talking about like growing a company, right? If I lean into my obsession, bro, I won't sleep for like 5 days. Like, not joking. You've seen me do it. I will genuinely.
Yeah. I still have the switch where I'm like, I'm going to go to bed and make sure I get like 6 hours at least.
But that, like, if I'm truly like getting into like my, like, I'm locked in on this, I'm obsessed with this, I can't. I don't want to.
I feel like I've seen bits of you doing that. Yeah.
I don't want to. I can't. Oh, I can, right? Obviously, I don't like giving my power away to anything, but really don't want to. Or like, for example, not a bad habit, right? Like producing. If I lean into like my obsession, dude, there was a couple days early in January where I spent like the better part of 2 full days just making beats.
You were sending me beats.
You know what I mean? But
like
technically that's a productive thing. It's creation. But I have to like rate limit myself with any of these
I also
things.
think when I say obsession, I'm like obsession with the end.
He's talking about end result, end goal.
Like what do I really want? And I think there's an enemy that has to be defeated. And so I need to become the best version of myself possible to be a part in defeating that enemy. Wouldn't you say? That's accurate.
For sure.
So like when I say obsession, I'm like, I look at it as very well-rounded. We're just talking about this, you know, you can only be so fit, that sort of thing. What gives you real power in this world? Your network and the money you're making. And also the knowledge on how to use those connections and that money. And I think the number one biggest thing is how can I make my work more efficient to make more money, to acquire the power to affect a certain change that I want in the cultural landscape of society.
Yeah, and there's also a momentum factor to that, which we've all tapped into and felt. When you really like when you're on that path and then you get some results and you get some momentum, and the more momentum you get, it's a compounding snowball of momentum, which always beats motivation or discipline or whatever like rigid thing you have set out for yourself. When you have momentum going, like you said, you could stay up for 5 days straight. When I have momentum going, I can go wherever and do whatever, and the energy is unlimited. And I'm sure you feel the same way. When you have
sometimes
cash is coming.
Sometimes I don't work. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, what's the direction for today? But like that happens, of course. But I think when I say obsession, what I'm saying is the obsession with the end state, and I attach the work that has to be done today with this gets me one step closer to end state, if that makes sense. But I also know what you mean by obsession of like, fucking want to make some music. That sounds sick.
Well,
right?
but
I mean,
it could
it's
be
fun.
work. Like for me, I don't know. I oscillate with more of like a sprint than rest kind of mode.
Like multiple sprints
Like,
down different avenues.
Like I'm gonna go crazy for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is, and then like regather and like have a downswing. You know what I mean? Versus, I just feel like I operate more that way. Whereas, from what I've seen, both of you are like really like wake up today, do this.
I know exactly what you
Wake
mean.
up today, do this.
And you're definitely more of that. You definitely embody more of that than we do, but I'll also do that from time to time. I remember in the beginning of 2024, I was on a crazy heater and also a bender at the same time. It was like 14 or 15 days straight of like drinking, going out, going crazy. And in like the first 8 days, I made like 54 grand. Like I was on a crazy heater. I was drinking every night. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep going crazy until I lose. And it was like 13 out of 14 winning days, like made so much money.
Those are the best, dude. Like
and then after the last day, I'm like, all right, I never want to drink again. Let's get back to work.
I genuinely think like those kinds of things too, like if you find that pocket of momentum, you break the rigidity and you get into like one of the, it's almost like a trance state, right? It doesn't necessarily even have to be a bender, but just like you get in that mode, you get locked into something. I've had so many times where that, let's say week is like outperforms just because you get into such a different
you just go all in.
Mental, creative, like egregore that creates inside of you, and you just like outproduce like massive amounts. Like it's worth like 3 months of your regular daily output because of the energetic state that it captures.
And I think if you could do that in one thing, you could do that in multiple different avenues, right? Like it doesn't have to, whether it's making beats or whatever it is. I think if you could do it for one thing, you could harness that energy, if you're familiar with it, and do it for anything else.
Yeah.
Ripping sales calls, deep in the Google Docs, whatever it is.
Oh man, that's my favorite. I truly love that. Like,
cracked out off a feel free, a Zen, a Celsius, and going deep in the docs.
Just
I don't use any of that.
Get in the docs and just go nuts, bro.
Bro, just be locked in for hours.
Let me ask you this: how much caffeine do you guys have in a day?
A couple 100 milligrams, maybe like an extra Diet Coke or something.
Yeah, and some Feel Frees, and some Zins.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And you?
No caffeine in Feel Frees and Zins. But I actually, what was it, November or December? I just cut energy drinks out. Yeah. I was going to sleep one time on a Sunday night, and I was thinking about the first time I ever had a cup of coffee and how it made me feel, and I was like, that was like sick to feel like actually energetic off a cup of coffee.
That's how I felt in the video.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna get back to that. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna cut out all caffeine. So I think it was in December. I just cut out all caffeine. This is actually my first.
Ripped one today.
The Celsius, yeah. This is my
saved it for.
This is my first energy drink in probably like
How's it feel?
End of January. It's probably almost a month and a half, probably.
That's why you're so tapped in, dog.
Yeah, how's it feel?
I think I feel it a little bit. It's not like anything crazy, but
interesting because I just don't touch any of it.
Yeah.
I just don't have any of it.
And that's why, bro, I like coming and hanging out with you because you know I'm on that. I'll load up on stimmies and go crazy. So I love coming down and spending a day or 2 or 3 with you and being like, I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need that. Nick has the business energy flowing naturally, which I like to harness some of. And I think it's good.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I think for me, like my default state is like I actually don't love a lot of, especially like the online stuff. Like I actually naturally don't love it, and so, but it's a means to an end, right?
Yeah.
It's like a phenomenal tool, but I don't like really like. I'm not excited about it. Or I don't
It's like
love
a
it.
wormhole we can go down to have a genie at the end that will grant us every single wish we could ever want.
Exactly, but it feels so like artificial to me. But then like you rip that and you just like fuck it, I don't care. Like just do it regardless.
Yeah.
It's like a trigger.
But I feel like when you used to live down here, you would break it up. You would rip some content, post some big thread on Twitter, go for a walk, jump in the ocean, vlog it, come back, do some more work, go for a walk, get a feel free, come back, lock in, do more work, go hit a lift. Like you were constantly going to do things in the real world which you enjoyed,
Yes.
which would keep your swagger high when it came to making money online.
Yeah.
That's something I feel like I noticed and I feel like I've heard you talk about in 2022, 2023. And so then I kind of was like, that makes sense because I don't love sitting at a computer. Like I don't like to live for the internet and all this online stuff either. So I love going out, especially when it's nice. I love going out and ripping the cars at like dangerous speeds. I love going to the beach, going to mix up doing workouts, going to see friends, mixing it up throughout the day and doing dope stuff in the real world.
Yeah. Like that is more stuff, even not necessarily, obviously like everybody loves to go to the beach, right? Everybody loves to work out. I probably like, and we all do, like enjoy walking probably way more than the average person.
Yeah.
Or people that like to walk. Like we're a little crazy about just walking. But yeah, I mean like even just the work, like sitting down to write and, communicate and whatever on your laptop for like 4 to 8 hours. Just like, I don't love that. But I like talking to people, going out, like, you know what I mean? You feel me?
Yeah, I mean,
Interfacing with
So
the
I think
real
it's
world.
like,
I feel like it's more that than anything.
I don't like sitting at the laptop, but if it has to be done, it just has to get done. So
Don't lie to me right now.
I don't like sitting at the laptop.
That's a tough sell.
I definitely don't like sitting at the laptop. It's like, would that be my first? If you gave me unlimited money and everything in the end state that I wanted, would I sit at the laptop to try to get more of it? No. But I need to do that to get to the place I want to be, and it's within this box is all the answers you could ever have.
Him blue light maxing is tied to the end result. But like
Correct.
it actually is. It
Correct.
has to be done.
So
But where you're not
I'll
gonna
do that.
convince-
I'm willing to do that.
I'm on board with that. I'm willing to do
Okay,
it
so what are you
too.
about to say? What
I'm
joke are you
just
about to
saying
make?
you're not going to sell me on the fact that you don't like it, at least a little bit, though.
Well,
No shot.
I definitely like it in the sense of I know if I do this, I'll get what I want.
Yeah. Because money
I
doesn't,
like getting
money
what
doesn't
I
get
want.
handed to you, so you have to do it in order to get what you want.
I like it in that sense, for sure.
Okay.
But do I like the action of like, oh, I have to sit at the computer?
I think you do a little bit. Like okay.
Definitely don't
like, okay,
think I
like
do.
10 at night, last night, like, what are you working on? Oh, nothing really, but you're still just like sitting there plunking along. Like,
Plunking
you're not
along.
like working.
Yeah,
but
I
you're
had like some ideas, that sort of thing.
Like a little bit.
Look, but you also have to understand stream of consciousness going, idea, this, that. This is going to be a tweet, drop
I
in the
love
notes.
that.
That's what I was doing.
I just manically pace around and put it in my notes.
Same thing.
The manic pacing has been years in the making with you.
I love it.
Yeah. And bro, you've been ripping tweets like crazy, I feel like the past 12 months. You've been ripping a lot of tweets.
It's getting there. We need a little bit more.
What do you have followers?
Like 50 something.
50K? Bro, I remember when you
It's
first
okay.
I remember when you first hit 10K.
Really?
Yes.
When was that?
It wasn't too long
I
ago.
don't
That was
really remember.
20 I want to say spring or summer of 23.
I think it was 22.
You think it was
Yeah.
22? Maybe it
He
was.
does.
It was spring or summer of 22
I think
or
20
He
23.
definitely had way more than
I think
10K
23, I had about 20.
23.
Okay, so it was 22 then. Or summer 22, you hit 10. But once you hit 10, like you really took it to the next level and just started ripping more
Definitely-
to business.
Definitely did, but the crazy thing is I think it could go harder. Because I know every time I have that spurt, because I track it. I get a report every day, and I can
From
look
Kathy?
at get a report every day. How many tweets did I put out
But from
yesterday?
it is Kathy?
Yeah, that's right.
Hell yeah.
How many tweets, how many videos, how many views did we do? What's our average daily posted per day? What's our average views per day? And so I'll just know it. And I definitely think the average could go up. Right now the average is like 5 or 6 a day. It should be 10 to 15.
Yeah. And I feel like some days I see you're ripping like more than that, but
For sure. And when I rip more than that, guess what happens? The money goes up.
yeah.
I'm like so, I don't know. Like I just, I used to love
Twitter's an
Twitter.
example.
Yeah, bro.
Like I think
just-
Instagram is more important.
I'm not even what's more important, but just like I used to genuinely love Twitter,
Yeah.
and now I just could give a
They
shit.
cook the
Do you
whole
think your environment changed? Yeah, the algorithm and this and that, and there's more
No.
dorks on Twitter. Do you think your environment changed the past 2 or 3
No.
years? Has
Nah,
affected
dude, I'm
you?
back
Not
in
at all.
Miami, and so it's the same environment when I really, really started to really grow the first time. It's definitely
It's
the
just
app.
like
The app's changed.
The
for sure.
app's changed. It's like retarded now. It's like
Yeah, I see a lot of if I go on Twitter now, I used to always had my timeline was always curated to exactly what I wanted to see, and I was always learning stuff because back in 2020, 21, 22, dope people were posting dope stuff on Twitter. It was cool. Dudes were giving out game. People were like money Twitter was like peak from like 2019 to 2022, 2023. Now there's so many losers and dorks, and
it's just like even if you
kind of
go
black-pilled when I
if
go
you-
on Twitter.
If you go and like make all that good stuff, what happens is people just like basically take it and try to use it to like spin it off as their own,
Yeah, a
so
lot of
they can make
copycats,
money,
too.
or they're just like arguing with you even if they're totally wrong, or just like it's just draining.
Yeah, the reply
But I used
guys
to-
and the Jeets and
I used,
everything.
I used to love that shit though, bro. Just like loading up like just all day, just
Yeah, you used to rip bangers.
manically pacing. We gotta find a new outlet that like is cozy,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, we do.
I would love to hear, and I think it'd be an interesting thing to hear for everyone too. Like when you're betting, right? You said you're up like 130 units last year, right?
150, yeah.
So that's 150.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So that's, basically 150%. So like just to use a simple number.
Use
at-
150 and
if you
multiply
add-
it by
if you-
whatever
if
unit
you
size
add
is.
if you add 150 units, let's say you started at 100 grand as your bankroll. You add 150 units. Is that 150 grand as your now balance or 250 grand?
That would be two.
It'd be-
If you're using 1%, you'd now have 250. But it doesn't really work if you're just doing it like that. Yes, but what pros do and what my clients and I do is we compound our bankroll, which you'll never hear another sports bettor online. I've never heard one about talking about compounding their bankroll because everyone loves to talk about compound interest, especially those like weird albino fucking finance dorks on Twitter. Just love talking about like dividend stocks and compound
albino
interest and
finance
stuff.
stocks.
No,
the guys that are like, I put my another $30 in.
Yeah,
my
Oh,
instead
yeah,
of
yeah,
buying
yeah.
instead of buying a coffee today, I bought this stock or whatever. Those people. But I'm saying, in sports betting, right? So if we have, let's say your bankroll's at $100,000, we compound our bankroll. Some of my bigger clients might do it with bigger bankrolls. They might do it bi-weekly. I encourage most people to compound your bankroll once a month. So if you have a $100,000 bankroll, you're going to have a $1,000 unit. If you're on the conservative side, if you're a little more of a risk taker, you want to do 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. You could do that. Let's say we make 10 units. So we made before yesterday, we were up 18 units in January. So let's just say, for argument's sake, we make 10 units the first month of the year. You've made $10,000 on your $100,000 bankroll. So now your bankroll is $110,000. So for February,
Okay.
your new bankroll is now 110 grand. Your unit size is now going to be $1,100.
So you actually, in the example I used, because you're compounding it, that number is actually going to be more than 250.
Yeah.
It's a logarithmic
It's gonna-
growth curve.
Yeah.
Exponential.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made a YouTube video when I started my YouTube channel on if you started with a $5,000 bankroll, it was like 6 units a month, 8 units a month. If you compounded your bankroll over the course of 20 years, how much money you would have, and it's a lot. Yeah, you'd be a millionaire.
Have you ever like done a big bet with like 20% of your bankroll?
Yeah, I have. And I've made videos on Instagram talking about this, and it was not like I should have done it. There were times where I lost discipline or I thought I had a big edge and I just said, F it, I'm taking a risk and doing it.
Yeah.
Got
And I've
emotional.
had times where it paid off and I've had times where it doesn't. And I could definitely remember more times where it didn't pay off than when it did.
Yeah.
Which is why chasing is, I always preach to my clients and anyone who follows me on Instagram, like, you just do not do that. When you get greedy, it's so easy to lose your bankroll. When you chase, it's so easy to lose your bankroll. And the scary thing is, if you have a bad week and you try to chase it all back on a Sunday and you get lucky and you get it back, you're doomed because you think you could do it again now. Anytime you do that, you think you could make it back and do it again.
Yeah. It's like trading, bro. It's super like trading.
There's such a huge mental aspect of sports betting in order to be successful that most people just don't have. Yet these people bet sports every day or every week.
I've had some pretty big crypto wins. I've had some pretty big crypto losses. And it's like, I know exactly that headspace of like, yeah, I just made that. Look at that. That felt good.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just run it back another trade and it's like, where'd all my money go? I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was texting him like, yeah, bro, like, you know, because I view anything he sends me as like, sure, obviously we have, you know, days where things don't go our way. Most of the time, if they don't go our way, it's because of some bullshit. Like, fucking team lost by a point, and we just stupid stuff,
literally
right?
missed
Little,
for, like, variance.
like tiny things that like shouldn't really have happened, but they do.
Over the course of the long run, they will happen less times than they will.
Yeah, but I remember I view like what he sends me is like, we're locked in, like this shit's gonna cash. Like JV's just the GOAT, like whatever. But I texted him, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna throw in like a couple of like, you know, like just a little bit of money, bro. Like couple like 4 or 5 leg parlays, like $5 to win 80, whatever, da 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 da. And he just was just like fucking torching my ass, like, yeah, bro, have fun losing it all. He's like, you can do that, but you're fucking retarded. I was just like, oh damn.
Maybe I need to get in on some picks. How do I do that in Florida?
Bro, it's a 20-minute drive. We're right there.
Oh, I can't do it from my
All
phone.
right, when Matt comes down next time, we'll do it. Since you had a good gym.
Okay, well, I'm talking about from my phone.
Oh,
Can I do it
okay,
from
okay.
my
Yeah,
phone?
just download the app.
Yeah, you can
In
do.
Florida?
I've actually just
Okay.
started using a crypto book 2 days
Perfect.
ago that I can send you easy.
Perfect.
No.
But yeah, we're gonna do a video.
When you're ready,
I've never bet
we'll vlog
sports, but we'll do like a 10 grand bet.
it. He's never bet sports. He's gonna do a $10,000 bet, and it's gonna hit.
That'd be a good vlog.
Oh, bro.
That'd be a
like,
cool vlog.
It would be a cool vlog. It's super interesting though because like, you know, that like compound interest element and like with the edge that you have. I mean, dude, like average day, if let's say we have 6 picks, like we're going like 5-1, 4-2, like probably more like
Yeah.
5-1.
And honestly, like that's pretty much the way it's been the last 6 months. And I would be lying if I sat here and told everyone in the audience that I go 5-1 or 4-2 every day all year. Like that's not the
You're
case
telling
at
me
all.
I can get some free money? Is that what you're saying?
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
I know, but like that's kind of like
Oh, yeah,
how I've been
days,
riding
you know,
the past
we go
6
4
months.
and 4 or whatever.
Can
too.
you talk
like,
about what you're putting down on a pick? The amount of cash? Like, you ever talk about that?
Yeah, everyone that really follows me knows. And yeah, my unit size right now is $8,000. And I actually had a client DM me a couple days ago, and he was like, "Yo, like your unit size has been the same for like the past year. Like, why aren't you compounding your bankroll?" And I'm like I'm fairly content with my unit size right now.
Yeah.
And I'm funneling profits like, I mean, you saw I don't have a lot of followers, so like my sports betting profits like funding my lifestyle. It's like I'll take my sports betting profits, pay bills, investment accounts, stacking money for real estate, buying crypto, traveling, doing all that stuff.
I feel like you're probably like one or very few like people that sell picks that's making more money from putting the picks in than
literally.
selling the picks.
Literally.
Yeah. From actually betting.
Yes.
But it's crazy, dude, because you think about, 150% annual return. Like, unless you have a really strong edge, you're probably not getting that in stocks. You're certainly not getting that like passively, like just S&P. It's not even close. It's a fraction of that.
Yeah.
And people always, which I think it's mostly pretty dumb, like, oh, I want passive income. It's like, dude, you're way too poor to give 2 fucks about passive income.
It's just
But
lazy.
JV's picks, bro, are like actually, even stocks, you got to
We're
research.
going to need a referral code.
You gotta
on this podcast.
you gotta research them. No, like if you're gonna buy stocks, right?
Yeah.
You gotta research if you want to beat the 8% the S&P will spit out, you got to research, understand the like fundamentals behind the market trajectory, that company specifically, all this different shit. That's not passive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time there.
Yep.
Buy real estate, you got to manage it. JV's picks, bro. You just fucking
And real estate's a lot of money down.
log into the app, see if there's any bonus percents, any shekel bonuses they'd like to give you. Fucking log in, click, clack, cling, cha-ching, check back 4 hours later.
No, but that's the thing, right? So if you really have a big bankroll and you really want to make a lot of money betting sports, like a lot of my clients are, like I have multiple handfuls of clients that are making $10,000 plus a month. I have a lot of clients that have made over $5,000 with me the last 5 months in a row. And I have a good handful that have made $20,000 or more per month the last 5 months. But it's not like the clients that are really doing it how I'm doing it, like we don't just use one sports book. We have multiple accounts. We're line shopping. We're looking for the best odds because if the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday are minus 160 on one book, but then you go on another book and they're minus 175, like we're not going to bet them on that book at minus 175. We're saving 15 cents and going minus 160. There might even be an offshore crypto book that has a minus 155. We're going to save an extra 5 cents and bet it there. Because when you're doing this in the long term, my 153 units is what I profited last year, and not all of my clients made 153 units because some of them just use one sports book and they don't care enough to line shop. So they might have made like it's over the course of a year, it's a big difference.
I've actually lost like a couple picks that you sent me that you won because I just have like DraftKings or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was like, let's take a hockey game, right? And it's like under 6. They don't have
DraftKings doesn't have the whole
They don't
numbers
have
anymore.
the whole numbers. They only have under 5.5 or 6.5, right? Like
they don't have 6.
They don't have the flat numbers. They just have the 0.5.
Yep.
And so I could only do that, and then it's like total ends up to be 4-2. I lose, but
6,
Justin
he lost
wins.
on 5.5. I got to push. I got my money back.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that too where I love it when you send me hockey picks. I'm like,
Bro, isn't hockey the best?
Yes.
I love betting hockey.
Hockey picks.
All my clients, like, I have no hockey. No one's a hockey fanatic. None of my followers, but we all love hockey because it's so profitable.
I've maybe watched 1 or 2 hockey games ever.
What do you say to people that say sports betting and gambling is degenerate? Because I think
they're right.
I think it comes back to the conversation of if you're just frivolously just gambling because it's like, oh my God, I could maybe win some sort of money at some point. I think that's degenerate. But if you go in and you're like, okay, based on the probabilities, which is what you're doing, based on the probabilities, this team is likely going to win, and we're probably going to pick up a couple games today, and we're definitely going to be up a couple units. That's not degenerate to me. But I'm curious what you think.
Of course it's not. Yes. If you were to make a very broad statement and say, is sports betting as a whole degenerate? It has to be. 99% of people lose, and a lot of people they lose rent money. They get their car repossessed because they lose the money for the car note, or they have to start selling things.
I don't mean to pause or just interrupt you, but I just can't even fathom just like, okay, this is all I have left to pay my rent and putting it on the sports.
Let's go Rockets.
Yeah, right? No, it's insane, and that's why as a whole, how could you say something's not degenerate if 99% of people are losing? And like it's super unfortunate. If you break down the way professionals do it.
I think it's very degenerate, not just the act itself, but especially like the way they have it strong-armed now into like it's everywhere, bro.
Oh, I do not like how ESPN, the marketing is horrible.
ESPN's unwatchable, like entirely now. It's
incredibly
awful.
Jewish.
it was awesome when I was a kid. I loved ESPN.
Is it Morgan Stewart Scott? Yeah. Or not Stewart Scott. Who was the other guy? Neil Everett, Stan Verrett. 6 a.m.
Stan was pretty fire, but there was a lot of guys like that on there. It was like dope. Like
they showed the real highlight.
Watch
they
the posters from the NBA games, whatever. It's awful now, but dude, it's literally the entire thing, Nick, is now just one big like sportsbook ad.
Yeah,
like they have
all they do. It's all diversity hires.
Half of the
gambling.
segment of the show is like what they're gambling on today. Like that to me is the most degenerate part. Is like the propaganda arm of it and how easy they make it and how in your face it is. But I view it like people like Justin putting on for the Aryans, and he's like our weapon to strike back against the degenerate sports book. Like he's how if everybody had like the systems and
This
you
is
know,
how we combat
this
the
is how-
sports propaganda.
This
That's
is
right.
how we take it back from them.
Because if you go on ESPN
get
now,
that
it's
lick
like,
back.
oh, we have our sideline reporter Kelly here. She's going to give you her parlay of the day, and
No, that's
she's going to put
seriously-
3
I see. I don't
props.
watch any of it, so I don't know.
The whole.
But
I
watch it,
do
but
feel-
if it's on, it's
I
garbage.
do feel like my read on it is sports are still only big as they are because of sports betting,
Totally.
because of
It's
gambling.
entirely
It's taking it to a
subsidizing.
next level. It's taking it to a next level.
Like, I don't think sports would be popular anymore, really, without the betting.
They would still be popular, but it is
Just not to the level they are.
no, it's an unfathomable next level.
It's
And
crazy.
the leagues have the unfortunate part is the leagues have all noticed that. And that's why every league is now striking deals with all these gambling companies. That's why now when you go to an Arizona Diamondbacks game at Chase Field in Phoenix, there's a Caesar Sportsbook in the arena. You could walk in to scan your ticket to go into the game. You walk up to the sportsbook. When you go to Wrigley Field in Chicago, there's a DraftKings Sportsbook in the
Every stadium is just now a mini casino.
Not all of them, but a
Dude,
lot of them have.
it really
have
is. And
sportsbooks.
like,
Yeah.
like
it's
I've,
not.
I've,
It's a net. I would say it's an overall net negative.
I've been,
for society.
Yes.
I've been watching more games, right? Because it's like, dude, if it's a Saturday, hanging out with the baby, you know, like it's nice. You can only, you know, I'm down to get down and dirty and play with the trains, play with the stuffed animals. Like I'm about that life, but you can only do it like for so long
Yeah.
in one session. For it's like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I need to like, I can't do this right now anymore. It just wears you out a little bit. But so it's nice. I could throw a game on, whatever. She's playing, hanging out, just having a chill Saturday.
Uh-huh.
So I've been watching more stuff, and it's in your face every single second. Like every commercial is that. They have the banner on the game. They take breaks where the reporters, the broadcasters, whatever, they have the players that their picks that they're putting in.
That's crazy.
Dude, everywhere. Download today. We'll give you $200.
Cause I haven't really watched sports since I was maybe like a teenager, really like paying attention to it. I don't think that ever existed.
It didn't.
It was illegal.
Because it was
Yeah.
only legal in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's why it
And
was.
then the online DraftKings started
Yeah.
popping up and this, that, and the other.
Believe it or not, bro, sports betting was actually cool back in the day. And if you're older watching this podcast, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody, it's because it's so accessible now. Every dork, every frat bro, every twink loser nerd bets on sports, and it's not cool. Back in the day, you had to know a guy that could get action down. You had to call somebody.
Like a bookie, right?
Yeah, dude. When I was in college, I had a bookie in North Carolina that owned a construction company as a front. One of my coaches hooked up. I used to have to call this guy between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. on weekdays, and he would give me a site where I'd call him and say, "Hey, John, what's the line for this game?" He's like, "Oakland's laying 3.5 right now." I'm like, "Okay, put me down for 1,500 on Oakland minus 3.5. What's the total for this game?" And you had to call this dude's construction company, and his assistant would answer the phone and put him through to him between certain times if you wanted to get bets down. He would come up to the Northeast like 4 times a year, once a quarter, and you would square up. You'd go into barbershop. Like every people that bet sports back in the day, they were cool people. You had to be kind of like, you were a risk taker. You had to
Yeah,
have an
it's
edge
like-
to you. You had to be,
Quasi outlaw.
yeah, like maybe you got a gun under your seat or something in the car. Like you had to be that kind of guy, you know? You get Cuban cigars, they're illegal. Like you do all this, like you had to be like, you weren't just like some square dork that was like,
Yeah, now it's
can
like,
I bet on sports?
now
it's
it's
not
like
that back in
the
the day.
woman hire, like the woman diversity hire on ESPN. Like, here's what I'm picking today.
Yeah, right?
Shut the fuck up.
It's like I love yeah.
Well, I also think an interesting point on that is we were just talking about content and how there's the slop content and then there's the real content. And obviously there's ways to get attention that we have to use to get the attention, but we can still be real. We can still do it in a way that I would say isn't degenerate, isn't gay, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't come across that way. And you see that in basically everything you could do in society. Sports betting, for example. Most people are going to be degenerate. I think most people are going to be degenerate with everything. You know, most people are degenerates in the way that they eat. And then there's some people that eat well, you know? Most people are degenerates in the way that they take care of their body and their exercise. And then there's some people that take care of themselves. Same with sports betting, same with content, same with business. Most people are just like, I'm going to
Basically-
get money however I want to get it, however is easiest. And it eats your soul, but they still get the money. And
It's very hormonal too, because it all tracks with like the decline of testosterone. Because like, dude, really, if you are like a healthy man, and just like the attack of like wanting to decline actual masculinity
Yeah.
and just feminize everything, right? If you're an actual man and you're looking at the world that we see today and you are not heavily disagreeable towards it, you're pretty gay.
You're bought into the
Agreed.
propaganda.
You have to
you're
be.
You're in the system getting cooked.
Yeah, I
Eating,
mean, you just
drinking
can't.
soy milk and letting your girl pick where you guys go to dinner and letting her make the money and work a job. And you're vacuuming floors. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You have to be.
You're doing
You have to
dishes.
be anti everything nowadays that's pushed. I feel like as a man.
If you're not disagreeable to that, like strongly, bruh, you cooked.
Yeah.
It's raps.
Real.
And
Gotta get your
what you
aura
said,
out.
I think I 100% agree with in every aspect. I think a part of that is the way that Americans kind of have evolved over the past 50 years with the massive processed food that's came out.
Devolved.
The feminist stuff, all the gay stuff that's on TV, what kind of content is
Well,
pushed.
The
Everything you're
de-evolution of
listing,
Americans.
in my opinion, is demoralization effort in every avenue.
Absolutely.
In terms of social engineering and even biological engineering to a degree, people aren't living up to the biology that they're born with.
Yeah.
Because of the certain chemicals, air, water, food, the media propaganda that's pushed, inflation is another aspect. And so everyone's just demoralized and they're like, I'm going to try to survive. No matter what I need to do, I'm going to try to survive. And so then they end up gambling degenerately on an app.
Yeah.
Guessing, wasting all the rent money.
Going
That's
with an
crazy.
abundance mindset.
The rent money is crazy to me.
He's shown me some crazy shit, dude, of people like
Oh,
messaging
dude,
him.
you
like,
got to see the deep
like,
Nick.
like
you
some
would,
straight up like
you would throw up, bro.
like some straight hood dudes like, hey, bruh, like I'm gonna need a winner, bro. Like, I need this bread.
Yeah,
like,
I got $500. That's all I got. I'm gonna put it on your lock tonight. If it wins, I'll pay you. I'm like, dude, why would you gamble? I talk more people
he
out of
literally-
gambling than fucking
he's in the
Gamblers
DMs,
Anonymous.
He's in the DMs closing them on not paying him. For
I
the
talk
picks.
more people into not betting than betting.
Dude, the shitty part of that is they're gonna go pay somebody else.
That is the shitty part of it. You're
It's
right.
the
Or they're
shitty
gonna go
part of
pick
it.
a game on their own.
They're still gonna lose the money.
They might as well just like get a 40 and light the change on fire.
It's crazy. Rent money, bro. You have your last dollars. You have to spend money on rent or you're going to lose the place that you live. Nah, man. I'm betting on the Eagles tonight.
Yeah. Josh Allen definitely gonna score tonight, bro.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The prop bets are crazy.
It's unfortunate. It's like that marketing that we just talked about. How does that not? You can't say that doesn't play a factor into it. Of
course.
And they know it does. They don't care. It's all about money. It's all about greed.
Dude, the prop bets are crazy because like what you do, there's like incentives for the things you're betting on to happen, right? Like, both teams want to win the game, right? Especially like NFL playoffs. Both teams want to win the game. Both defenses don't want to let the other team score. So like the line and the overs and under, like the totals, like there's a real incentive. But people taking these prop bets, it's like, dude, they could just not, like that's not the game plan. They're not gonna throw the ball to homie. They're like, dude gets doubled and people throw fucking $100. Like, yeah, he's gonna score a touchdown today, and it's just like, it's like putting on a blindfold, taking a big swig out of a tequila bottle, getting spun around 5 times, and then trying to throw a dart at a dartboard.
That's exactly what it is. And I think
Except with the rent money.
a lot of people, I think deep down they know that's what they're doing, and I think they've somehow subconsciously accepted that they're okay with it. They've told themselves that actually trying to do this the right way and make money in this isn't for me. I would rather take the easy, lazy way out and throw some darts, and the 1 out of 10 times, 1 out of 20 times I land a dart, I'm going to be happy.
I think they just don't even believe in themselves and they don't have any hope.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. Like, I don't think they're just like, oh, fuck it, I'm too lazy to like sports bet the right way. I think they're looking at it like, dude, like, where am I going to go get a job? Like, I don't have money now. Where am I going to get a job that's actually going to pay me decent money and like provide for shit? So it's like despair almost.
I've taken a page out of Nick's book, and I've sent some people that have continuously DM'd me, and I've told them, I've sent them the McDonald's career page.
But dude, it's fucked. Like even with like Like McDonald's pays what, like 15 an hour now, right?
Probably. I don't know.
I think
I
so.
remember in high school, 15 an hour.
What we just
all right.
I just send all the Indians there. So if an Indian in India or Pakistan or whatever, they try to like get our stuff, it just auto redirects them to McDonald's, and they'll be like, "Sir, I can't do the accent.
I'm not
sir,
gonna
please.
drop my
Why
accent.
McDonald's?
I'm gonna withhold my actual take on that, and I'll tell it to you after the pod because I have a really,
Sir, please.
really,
Why McDonald's?
really funny
And I'm just like,
perspective.
yeah, you're just not in America, bro. Oh, like they're just like they don't get it. Obviously, it's just like
Obviously.
of course.
Uh,
But yeah, we send them to McDonald's.
But it's like crazy, dude. Like, back, I remember when we were growing up, right? It was still like, like looked down upon. It was
What,
like,
like 10 years old, sort of?
yeah, it was like a low status thing. Like you go work at McDonald's, it's like, oh, like
Yeah.
you're working at McDonald's. Like, what are you doing? But back then, like you could go work at McDonald's and like bust your ass, work 5 or 6 shifts a week. You could still like it wasn't going to be anything crazy.
Still have a
But
family.
you could pay rent.
Yeah, you could probably have a kid.
You could probably have a kid if wife's working too. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you can't do that now. Can you imagine?
You can't even do that in an
Can
office
you,
job.
Can you imagine doing 50 hours a week at McDonald's, even if you're making 15 an hour? Like, what is that, bro? That's like $900 gross a week
So-
or some shit.
That's an interesting point there. Let's not say McDonald's. Let's say the office
Yeah,
job,
because
right?
I was going to say, even
Let's
an
say-
office job,
I
even
think
if you're making
an-
40, 50K a year, that's so
an
tough.
office job in a major city, not possible with the. It's possible. It's just really difficult. You're getting squeezed in a major city.
Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, kid.
I do think if you went to a smaller market in the middle of nowhere and worked that office job, you could live for cheap, and then you could use the power of the internet and still access the money-making ability. To me, that's the only answer. If you're a single guy, not living at your parents,
yeah, but
the
dude,
real answer is you probably have to go to like the middle of nowhere where it's super
you know
cheap
how
and try to make it
depressing
on the
that
internet.
is, though?
Yeah, but like
Like,
that's
dude, it's not healthy.
I know it's not healthy, but I'm saying that's the reality of the situation.
I agree. It's insane.
Most people starting
But
probably
even
that's
that's so fucked, dude. Like you're gonna go.
It is.
Let's say you're 23, right? New grad, like you figure some shit out, you get that job, move to fucking Kansas, rural Kansas.
Uh-huh.
Cost of living's cheap. It's like cool, but dude, you're looking around like you want to get a serious girlfriend,
Yep.
wife, kids, family, whatever.
No, you can't.
They're like the girls there
You're not
be
focused
like
on that. You're
overweight.
focused on getting rich. You're focused on the mission. You're focused on leveling up. You're focused on getting out of
that's-
your office job. You're focused on stacking money.
And that's
I see
fine.
both of
Learning a
you.
skill.
I agree with both.
And that's fine, and there's a place for that. But I'm just saying, in terms of like a long term.
It's not a long-term
Let's say for
play.
the guy that isn't us, but they want to have a decent life and they just want to settle down and like have a family. Like
I think people
immediately-
should be able to have that.
I agree,
I don't
but I
think you
also agree with you. People should be obsessed, but not everybody is.
Yeah.
I don't think you should have to fucking be like us, thinking about
To make it,
taking over the world 24 hours a day
to have a nice car and
to be able
eat good
to like
food.
live a normal life.
Yeah.
I personally don't.
Of course. Well, we're not most people. Well, think about all of our parents. Did our parents think like us? Of course not. None of our parents. Were any of your parents wealthy, or want to be like
Yeah,
have
middle
these-
class.
Yeah, middle class. And like we came from them, but now we want to take
Say
over the
something.
world. So it's like even the people we came from didn't have the
I think it's also
aspirations that we have.
the environment and what we've been exposed to. I have a couple points.
That's awesome.
One, the environment we've been exposed to, and specifically the internet culture. There's a subsect of about 5 to 10 years of people born, I feel like late 90s to early 2000s, that
Correct.
kind of got a bit of the real world.
The Zoomer master race.
Yeah, they got a bit of the real world and they got a bit of the online world, but they're not like the millennials that have no idea how to use the online world in general. I mean, there's always some.
Millennials know how. They just like
No, they
use
know
it
how
in
to
the
use
worst
like,
ways. They log into Reddit and like,
yeah.
discuss
And then
things.
there's the really young Gen Zs that only know how to scroll.
Yes.
And then there's us, which is the guys in the middle. And we kind of got a bit of both. And we're like, we're going to take over.
I
We need to
kinda-
detonate everything.
I kind of really like the younger Gen Zs too,
I
though.
do too, to a degree.
Like-
Some of them are good. But I
The-
still think a lot of the ones you like fall into kind of the edges of that 5 to 10 year gap.
I don't know, bro. Like 12-year-olds today are fucking.
I don't know any.
based.
I don't know any
They're
12
super, I don't know any
They're
either.
based
but
because they're
I'm
scrolling
I'm
Hitler
just
memes
saying-
on Instagram.
I'm just saying, like the content that they post, and I know it's that
What
age
12-year-olds are
group.
you following? They're posting
Dude,
content.
what, at 14? I don't
Okay, no, I'm just
I'm
saying.
just saying, like,
We're just messing with you.
I know they're not like
All right,
they're not
14
they're
is
not
fine.
Whatever, Epstein.
teenagers now. The content they make is cracked, bro.
Yeah, some of the edits and stuff I've
The
seen.
edits are
that is
hilarious.
when I was
and they're
14.
super
But
based.
they've been doing it since they're 5. They knew how to use the editing. They knew how to use CapCut since they were 5 years old.
Yeah. When did you start? I feel like I started doing stuff like that when I was like maybe like 12.
Probably like 12 to 14.
Damn.
Like
Yeah, yeah, probably in that age range.
When you started like making edits and like editing.
Just like trying
making-
things.
Okay.
like making little like not GarageBand, but what's the like
Well,
native Apple video software?
The first,
iMovie.
yeah.
iMovie. Oh,
Making
yeah.
like like
Yeah.
a tough ass Lego war edit. Or
So like
I had a SoundCloud when I was like in 8th grade.
the first
making raps,
thing I did was
clean
I
raps.
sold I sold a gaming account. That's the first like money I made on the internet.
A gaming account?
It was a Clash of Clans account. I sold it. I was like, oh, this is like $1,000. Like I'll sell it for that. And I was probably like 14 or 15
Wow.
or something like that.
First money I made
And-
was flipping sneaks.
Okay.
Same age.
Yeah, you're right around then. And I
Continue
was
that.
like, I was trying to figure out how to monetize the communities on there. I was like, how can I make money out of this? Of like, put a group together or something and make like a competition. It didn't end up working, but there was plenty of kids doing Minecraft servers. Then it was Fortnite maps, and then now it's like Roblox and stuff like that. So I was kind of on the cutting edge of it a little bit. I didn't figure it out, but I would say 14, and I was just trying things.
Yeah,
you
bro.
know.
I was buying rare Nike Elite socks and various shoe drops
flipping 'em?
Flipping them.
Yeah, when I was 14.
There was a lot of bread in that.
He was
honestly.
flipping weed.
When I was no,
You're
when I was
selling
I'm all of my early money came from in the real world. I never made money online until I was in college, drop shipping. I drop
I
shipped
didn't know that.
one thing. I had a
Like
kitchen
you made
store that
one
sold
sale,
kitchen-
or you
yeah.
had one product?
No, I had one product. No, I had multiple products, but I made one sale. That was my first internet money. No, but bro, I was selling fake IDs. I was flipping shoes. I was selling jewelry. I was betting sports like in person as a teenager, and then eventually online and with bookies.
Fake
and
IDs
stuff.
used to be a good hustle.
I
Back
loved
in
making
the
money
day.
in the real world. Like I wasn't even a thought to like do stuff like that online when I was that young.
I think that stuff is way like I personally prefer that.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was cool.
But obviously, you can make way more money, like
The leverage of the
infinite
internet.
scale.
I want to go back to a point we were making with how much harder it is to make it and pay for a family and that sort of thing in a big city. Just you need more money because the economics work out where minimum wage should actually be like $80 or something,
Yeah.
but it's like 15, and normal average salary should be $250 if we're basing it on like the GDP and stuff, but it's 50 or 60K. And in the past 5-6 years, it was 6 years ago that they locked everything down. That's crazy. But how that time flew. But 6 years is all it took to get really bad.
yeah,
And I would say over the past 20, 30 years, it's definitely gotten really bad. And really even since the gold standard was ended in 1971. But it's sped up. And the past 6 has gone crazy. What's going to happen in the next 4, 5, 10? It's going to get... The guy that's making 50, not only will he not be able to take care of a family, close to homelessness at the current rate that it's going.
I don't think it's going to be homelessness. I think they're going to implement something where almost everybody
Agreed.
making under 100, unless you're making 100 living out in the middle of nowhere or whatever. I think almost everyone that's making under 100 is going to be borderline. Like in today's world, they would be almost borderline homeless or not be able to live. It's going to be really hard. I think the government's going to roll something out. Like I've seen Section 8 being pushed like crazy. I think they're going to roll something out to where everyone making under $100,000 a year is going to have to become more dependent on the government, and
Universal
they're going to
basic income,
become
for sure.
more controlled.
At some point.
New York, bro, I was just talking with my friend the other day about we were talking about buying property in Connecticut versus buying property in New York, and Connecticut property taxes, and it's so expensive and everything. And then New York, they either just passed this law or they're about to pass this law. I'm not sure if I sent it to you on Instagram, where if you own a building or a property in New York and you want to sell it, first you have to offer it to the government, the New York government, the state or city government, and for them to buy it first before you can sell it. and they are going to dictate the fair market price. And if for some reason they decide they don't want to buy it, then you could go and find another buyer, and then the state would still have to approve that transaction.
Yeah, they said they're like doing away with like private property and
How
like
nuts is that?
making sure,
what are you going to own in this
sure
country?
the white people can't buy property. Like they actually said that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's nuts. How sick is that? How sick is that?
You're just making me angry right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I try to not think about how bad it's going to be in 4 or 5 years, because it just makes makes me sick.
I also think like it's going to be bad for the average person, but to us, we know what's going on. There's almost always going to be a way for us to like kind of live a great life, you know?
Yeah.
True, but I also, I mean,
But I
just
do
how
care.
it is.
But I do care about society, and
I
do
care
wanna
about the
fix
world
that
I
stuff.
walk around in.
Yeah,
Which most people actually don't. I feel like a lot of people that don't have the aspirations, the goals, and the mission that we have, you see everybody walks around, they don't see a problem with anything that's going on. They don't notice
now,
anything.
Like you just go outside, it like kind of pisses me off.
we need to get a cleaning crew here in South Beach to take care of a couple things.
Yeah, not just these floors.
The streets and certain demographics.
A little.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Appliance installation.
We'll leave it there.
Well, anything else you guys want to talk about?
I thought we were having a good conversation. Why
Yeah,
do you want to
we're
end
rolling,
it?
we're rolling.
What?
You trying to end it?
I don't know. It just seemed like everybody got quiet.
No, let's keep it going.
No, we're
We're
chilling.
gonna, I think
yeah.
the
I'm having a great
I
time.
think the best conversations.
So when you buying a
yet to come.
supercar?
I know, right? This guy keeps telling me to buy a supercar, so I can.
Well, you keep telling me to buy a
if
supercar.
I-
I texted you the other night. I go, I've been looking at Lambos.
I know, bro.
Oh.
Isn't it so tempting?
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing that when Alex bought his Lambo, and then when he wanted to sell it because the seats weren't comfortable, he took me to a bunch of dealerships. We went to a bunch of dealerships, and he test drove some cars, and he was looking at them things out. Good thing that you and I have never gone to a dealership before, because I genuinely think
Wow.
you would have bought a car, I would have bought a
I've been
car.
to some dealerships.
And okay, well, good thing we haven't gone together because.
he had Turbo S like ordered.
I had
in
a
the
Turbo
con-
S.
Oh
on
yeah, that
order.
was what was that? 23?
I ended up not taking
or
it.
24.
That was 22 into 20.
They
No,
got
that was,
it in 23
That was 22, bro.
because
That was early 22.
and they tried to charge you 50 over sticker, right?
No, they did charge me over sticker, but we had agreed to a down payment, and then they wanted like triple
Okay.
at the time. And I was just like, don't really think that's worth it. I just keep investing in my business. So I didn't end up taking it, but it was beautiful.
I'm
Great,
so
right?
glad.
But you know, I'm actually glad I didn't take it because I was just like, I was able to just keep building and growing. And that's
Dude, I'm so glad I haven't bought a car in the past 2 years.
I'm so glad I didn't buy that specced out Wrangler. You remember that?
You're gonna buy a Jeep?
Yeah, bro, it was a badass.
I was encouraged.
It's like
too.
the
like
what
ducks?
the 362. Is that it?
Yeah.
Like the 362 V8 Wrangler maxed out, and it was badass, bro. And I'm so glad.
Does your dad have a Jeep?
Yeah.
You like Jeeps?
Yeah, I do.
Growing up, everyone that was
That was
like,
my first car.
everyone that I didn't want to be like had a Jeep. So I've always despised Jeeps.
That was my first car. I had a Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
04 Grand Cherokee.
Oh, the Cherokees aren't bad.
That was.
Yeah,
I,
I
love
don't know
that
what
car.
I had, but I had a Jeep. It was real cheap. It was like I was 18 and just bought it. It was I don't know, it was $200 a month the payment. So
My first car was a Honda Accord.
That's what I had after the Jeep.
Honda
that's a
Accord.
sports better car.
Jeez.
No, so when are you gonna buy the Lambo and use it to blow up the brand and dumb your content down and be an idiot?
And get more people that are gonna $500 to their name.
That's right.
I think the move to Vegas is first.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
you keep coming down here.
I know.
You know what I'm
right?
saying? You
I
keep
know,
coming
'cause
down here, but you keep talking about
Why do you
moving
need to go
Vegas.
to Vegas, bro? The Hard Rock's right here.
Bro,
And all the homies can be down here.
There's one book in Florida. I can't bet, and I can only go to the Hard Rock and bet in person. They don't let me bet on the app. They don't let me deposit and bet on the app anymore. I have to do it through.
It's so
other
G
people.
going to the casino with you. Have you ever been to the casino with him?
Not yet.
It's fire.
People like going to the casino with me.
Like Justin just rolls up. He's got this real nice like Louis Vuitton leather bag, and there's just like a smooth 50 racks in there. He just pulls up with the cash like stacked up. Just
Well, we're about to go do a video
Yeah.
sometime this year.
yeah, I'll take this, that. You know, give me the under on them. All right, cool. Like the GM always like, it's like if you have a guy that's got like a restaurant lockdown
Yeah.
and like the manager, the servers come out. That's they treat Justin like the king. He's like, "Oh, Justin, what's going on, man?"
Yeah.
Nice.
And the casinos, those books and casinos I've been banned from was like, that was the ultimate lockdown. Like everyone's number on speed dial, whatever I wanted. Like it was great. And they were nice, bro. It's nice dealing with nice people, genuinely good people. There are some sports books I go to, and when they're paying me out, they act like it's coming out of their paycheck. And they really don't like me trying to bet big, and they try to limit me, and they don't, oh, we're going to have to make some calls if you're going to want to bet this much. Normally we don't. I'm like, what are you guys' sports book? What are you here in business for? What are you doing here if you're not going to take a bet? And there are other sports books that I've dealt with. There's just great customer service. They want to help you. They want sports bettors to have a pleasant sports betting experience. They're going to set you up to watch the game if you want to watch it. They're going to give you drink, food, whatever you want. And they're going to try to take as much of your money on bets as they can, right? If you want to bet this,
You would think.
they're going to try to take it.
Yeah.
And some books I go to, and it's just not that way at all, and I hate it, and I despise it.
So when we go do our video, one, are they gonna? You got to connect so we can bring the camera in seamlessly, no problem. I'm sure. Yeah,
If we do it, I'm guessing we're going to do it here, right?
yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Sure. And then we'll probably have to they'll have to set us up in a room, and then a couple ashtrays so we can chain smoke cigarettes.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna go 10K, we could get like a suite.
Well, you're doing 10K too.
Oh yeah, I did. I said if I do
Yeah,
10K,
come on.
2K. All right,
and then
so
Logan's gonna show up, and he's coming, and he's
When
gonna
is
bet
this? When is this?
don't
whenever,
know.
sometime this year. When I feel ready to put 10K and potentially lose it,
when he's ready,
Okay.
we'll do it.
you know,
We'll
when
get
I
him-
decide
yeah.
that, you know, it's just 10 grand, whatever, you know.
I'll pull up.
We can make a
Pull
little
up.
movie out of it.
Hello.
We get Matt here.
Yeah,
That
that'd be
would go-
dope.
that
Yeah,
would
we
go
could
hard.
absolutely make it happen.
When you another reason it's fun going to the sports book with him. This guy, once you get him in like party mode,
Oh, we'll send it. Whatever way we're going, we'll
dude,
send it.
He will like not like just how much he's drinking, which that's there too, but like the actual act of like he has a glass with booze in it. He drinks that glass faster than anybody I've ever seen, bro. He's like, it'll be like 12 ounces of a cocktail, and it'll be
More booze. If we're gonna do it,
he'll
we're gonna
back
do
to
it.
back him. Like when we went to New York together, him and I the one night.
You went to New York?
Yeah, the Adirondacks.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant like the city.
No, I mean I've been to the city, but not that trip.
City sucks now.
Yeah. But when we went there one night, we got like this organic red wine, and him and I were just like,
We're beasted.
but this guy was like huge glass of wine, like filled to the brim, like at that pace, full glasses of just chugging them back to back. It was crazy. So that's another reason
Yeah.
it's fun to go to the sports book because Justin throws down.
When it's time to throw down, we're not just gonna get there and fuck. But like, yeah, if whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna do it. But getting them checks comes first.
Yeah, of course. You go once
But
business
once
is
that
taken-
bet's cash,
yeah.
That's right.
Once we get the slip back,
yeah. Nick is gonna be like, take the money. I'm done drinking. I don't care about the money.
I haven't drank in a while.
Yeah,
I might drink. We did that. Yeah, I might.
glass cigar.
yeah, we're gonna
Cool.
talk.
And it'll be when we go. It'll be like nice and
I haven't drank in like 2.5 years. It's been a while. Been grinding.
yeah. My drinking the past years and drinking and partying, all that stuff has really been like cut severely in the past year. I've really worked a lot. I've had fun too. I have a lot of fun, but
Is that true?
I mean, I don't know what it was before.
He was saying
I was going
earlier
wild.
you've been ripping it.
I didn't say he's been ripping. I said he has moments where
When
he'll
I-
just
when I do it, I
he'll
rip.
just randomly get like
yeah.
lit up
Yeah.
for no reason.
We'll do it.
Like I'll get a text on like a Tuesday night, like, yeah, I'm fucking hammered.
And then Wednesday morning, I'm like at breakfast at 8 a.m., like 13 mimosas deep.
yeah, he'll get like 2 pitchers of margarita for himself and like 4 entrees. This
Yeah.
guy is like, you think you eat a lot? This guy is
He can eat.
the king of like, he'll go somewhere to eat.
Imagine we had him last night
Oh
at
yeah,
dinner.
Justin would have
Server's
splashed.
low. I love a good server. Gets
You-
taken
you
care
would've-
of. They're we're gonna bring over another table.
Our
for the
server
food.
last night was awful.
Yeah.
See, that pisses me off.
Where we went last night, you would have probably splashed a smooth
We
500
both
bucks
we both
on
spent
yourself.
300 each.
Good food. Kyle.
Yeah, it was
Nice
good.
place, right?
Justin would have got that $175 Wagyu. Bring out an 18-piece of the fatty tuna.
Yeah, bro. I was just in Delray the other night. My dinner was like $2,000 or something. I got that Wagyu.
Where'd you go? Ikea
It was
bag?
like $200 an ounce. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay, that's
ordered
worth
almost
it.
everything on
That's
the menu.
worth it.
It's a good
I
spot.
thought you didn't eat sushi.
I don't. There was steak in there. Steak sushi. Put the
That's all you
Wagyu. Take
had?
out the fish. Put in the
But
Wagyu.
like $2,000 worth of just
Dude,
that.
I got
at
like
a
four
Cureback?
different. I got like 4 different styles of.
You didn't have at least some raw fish?
No, I don't eat raw fish. I
That's crazy,
What?
bro.
don't eat raw fish.
To go to
Why
a
don't you eat
Cureback-
raw fish? What's wrong with raw fish?
I don't like it. Smells gross. Tastes gross. Texture's gross.
Oh, come
What's
on,
up with this
man.
guy?
Yeah,
Not into raw fish.
we'll work on it.
All right.
We'll fix it. All right. I think that camera's going to die.
Is it?
What, episode 32? Episode 32? What do we want to leave him with?
32. You guys have had some phenomenal guests on this podcast. And I think when you guys announced a few months ago that you guys were bringing this back, I think all Money Twitter was pretty high. I saw nothing but positive reactions. People were hyped. People enjoyed it. People enjoyed you guys not only being connected into the culture of Money Twitter, but also having on people that were cool. And you guys were like no filter, holding back. And you guys were people that people on Money Twitter liked. And I think
Appreciate
people are
it, bro.
enjoying the podcast.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
More
glad
than-
it's back.
Me
It's
being
more
one of
than
them.
money Twitter.
Yeah, it's,
We
Now it is,
transcend
yeah.
money Twitter.
it is bigger. We had the TikTokers angry at us. Real angry.
That's what you want.
Last night, the liberal lady. Dude, last night. So the other day I tweeted massively unattractive things for women to do. And it was like smoking weed and like owning a pit bull and like vaping and going to music festivals and shit like that. And it went crazy, got like 5,000 likes. And I put it on Threads too.
I gotta post more stuff like that.
And some liberal lady that
Dude,
she looks crazy. Like
this
crazy.
woman looks like Bruce Jenner did when he was a man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But she's a woman.
And she took screenshots of it and put it on her IG and then tagged me. And hers is like a feminist movement Instagram. So all these like, they're actually boomer Gen X women for the most part are commenting on my stuff. Like Nick gives chicks the ick. That's the one I read this morning. And some like
the one
insult from
the one
some
lady said,
boomer
I
lady.
hope the cigarettes give you cancer that eats you from the inside out.
Yeah, real crazy stuff.
Crazy.
But so we have those people after us. We've got the TikToker people after us. We have the low T men that try to do online business.
I don't think that many people are really after us. I think most people like that are aware.
Just trying to build a narrative, man.
We're not that big yet.
He's not letting me build a narrative.
I'm sorry. Yeah, fuck the haters. I feel like
No, it's cool to bring it back because there's a lot of people that we were describing earlier, like the people that we would get along with in person, that have this parasocial relationship with us through the internet, where it's like, yeah, you would be our boy if we knew you in person, sort of thing, and we're building that sort of community and group, and
yeah.
we get a lot of DMs about it.
That's
and
great.
It's super sick. And then you're obviously an example of it. Like you watch the pod, now we know you really well.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
I was telling Logan when I first watched your first episode came out, or I don't know if it was the exact first one, but I saw an early one. I was watching it back up north right when I decided to go. I'm gonna go all in professional sports better. I was already on Money Twitter for like a year or two, and I was like I know I'm like these are gonna be my friends. We're gonna be friends one day.
Here we are.
And
man.
here we are,
That's
all
right.
making money, all doing everything that we just talked about,
That's right.
ripping the pod.
Anything
yeah.
else you want to leave
No,
the
we're,
folks with?
we're about to.
If
About
you
to
don't already bet sports, you don't need to start betting sports.
But if you want to bet sports really badly, or maybe you already bet sports and you suck at it, Justin's link will be in the description. You can check him out.
Go tap in with my boy.
I can help you guys out
Let him know
if
the
we get along.
associates. Let him know the associates sent you.
He'll tell you not to bet. I'll tell you that them picks cash, boy.
you're like better double down on them.
Yeah. I need to
Yeah.
up my unit size.
Hell yeah. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Great
Appreciate
episode.
you guys.
Time for a clink.